According to the CDC, 1 in 27 boys will be diagnosed with autism, and 1 in 116 girls will be diagnosed with autism as well. However, only 31% of those children are diagnosed with an intellectual disability. For employers like myself, that means the majority of autistic adults, these children who have grown up, are going to seek placement in the traditional workforce. So the question of whether or not you find yourself working with people with autism is a matter of when and not if. So what can we do as employers and coworkers to make the workplace equal opportunity for everyone? I've included 5 requests from the autistic community. Hi and hello, and welcome to Prison Coaching, where we talk openly and honestly about the things that keep us from being our best. I'm Jennifer, a practicing life coach, and I'm here to share with you why sometimes together is better. So the first request that came across on online forums and from talking with people who have autism is to simply be patient. Obviously, it's a lot to ask someone to become an expert on autism overnight. Even after a lifetime of study, autistic individuals don't really grasp your social cues either, so practice patience. Help bridge that gap if you're willing to put in an effort. Autism is simply a language barrier, and with any other language, it takes time, practice, and goodwill to master that. One of the ways you can accelerate that is through step 2, which is to be direct. You don't have to really worry about sugarcoating things with autistic individuals, as they frequently don't pick up on indirect language. So things that we use in everyday speech, such as implication, innuendo, metaphors, cliches, idiomatic expressions, all of those things can become lost in translation. So while it isn't necessary to purge all these expressions from your vocabulary, simply be mindful and watch that person for understanding. Be a little more receptive to feedback. It may help to explain what an expression means. So if you're mad at someone because they let the cat out of the bag and spoiled a surprise party your office had planned, it's okay to say that means keep this secret by not telling anyone. It's an extra step, but it's an easy step to take that prevents a lot of miscommunication. So the third thing that we can do as coworkers and employers in the workspace is to be accommodating. Remember that the person on your team that has autism, or in any way that they've become affiliated with the company, they've already shown through the recruitment process that they have the skills and abilities to perform the basic tasks of the job. So they don't really need to further accommodate the organization. They have probably developed a range of skills that they're using throughout their day to self-soothe, self-manage, and simply pick up on social cues, but it's actually your job to provide the conducive environment. So whether you're a coworker, a team leader, or someone even higher up in the chain, it's up to you to make sure that they're comfortable and not just tolerated. Just because autistic individuals may not, some of them are very eloquent, but because some of them may not articulate their needs doesn't mean they aren't indifferent. They are very sensitive to how they're being treated, and they can most certainly tell that their presence is tolerated versus welcomed. So if I kind of make the comparison here to someone who is a little bit shorter and they need to reach something on a high shelf, it would be common sense to provide a step stool. In fact, in warehouses and stuff like that, these sort of ladders and tools are available to everyone, and they're just around. We take it for granted. So if someone has autism, something as simple as providing noise canceling headphones can help them reach, and be part of the corporate environment. The fourth step is to be helpful. And that's a little bit vague, so here's where it takes just a little bit of effort in your ways to ask them what they need in order for you to be helpful. Like I said, you aren't going to be an expert in autism, but you have a subject matter expert with you. That person, no one knows what they need more than they do themselves. So, for example, some of them are fine with light, but not sounds. Some of them will benefit from a private office. Some of them will benefit from a consistent routine. Some individuals have noticeable quirks that are going to raise a few eyebrows, and some of you may never know that that individual had autism at all unless they tell you. So the point is, autism, people with autism are unique, just as unique as the rest of us. And there's no need to guess what they need. Just ask them, because they're unique individuals and they all have unique needs, and that is going to allow you to be as helpful as you can possibly be. And then, last but not least, don't be patronizing. As I mentioned before, most autistic individuals do not have intellectual disabilities. Likewise, autism itself is not a disability. So, in many cases, normal interaction is completely appropriate. Um, think about this question, though. Why don't you just borrow this noise canceling headset? At face value, the question is harmless, but we can easily see that with tone, it can change dramatically. Uh, why don't you just borrow this noise canceling headset is very, very different than here. Why don't you just borrow this noise canceling headset? Um, People with autism are very sensitive to tone, and in some cases, may even confuse tone with the actual meaning of a word. So, being a good citizen is just going to go a long way to help people with autism. And in fact, the rest of your employees, it's going to be good for them too. Nothing here was absolutely exclusive to individuals with autism. It's just a way to help them acclimate a little bit faster. And whether or not you explore all 5 of these steps or just a few of them, you are going to be a better boss, a better coworker, and a better leader just for making the effort, and going out of your way. But thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more, please hit like and subscribe. If you'd like to hear more about autism, about workplace, about leadership, about relationships, I will tailor my content to you. So let me know what you like in the comments. Be kind to yourself and good to each other.